Welcome to Wednesday Night Satsang. How can we cultivate more joy in our lives, tapping into the ever-present nature of God's joy when we're struggling? Joy is written into the very fabric of reality, a truth here for us right now. How little or how much we experience it depends on our availability and willingness. Hear more from Reverend Michael this Sunday at 11 a.m. Toma tu asiento en este viaje. Take your seat on this trip, this Sunday with Chris Perez at 9:45. There are many roads on the mountain, and each of us must follow our guide to the path that resonates most in our hearts. We can acquire a lot of spiritual knowledge, yet awakening develops when we commit to a regular practice. Together we will take a seat on a spiritual journey and discover our own spiritual path. A Course in Miracles describes our body as a communication tool. Our bodies are the interface of our entire experience of life, both in the world and within our own inner world. As we explore what it means and its full truth, it becomes surprisingly clear that it is so much more than sound communication. Join Reverend Karen next Wednesday, exploring the grounding zone of radical acceptance and the power it brings. Do you love to dabble in creativity? Using intuition and imagination, you can create fascinating and beautiful soul collage cards that reflect you and your inner wisdom. Come with us on this online journey of self-knowledge and self-expression through a fun and easy art process anyone can do. Join our soul collage community Monday nights, August 9th through 30th. Register in advance on our website to receive your supplies in time for the first class. And on August 8th at 1:30 p.m., guest minister Reverend Elizabeth Longo will be on campus offering an in-person experiential workshop, Embodied Awakening, tapping into abundance, healing, and wholeness. We are swimming in an ocean of infinite intelligence and abundance of goodness. In a loving, joyful manner, we will be using denials and affirmations to let go of what no longer serves you and instead focus on your heart's desire. Remove stubborn blocks, old programming, and self-sabotaging patterns. You'll be able to experience a more expansive consciousness, a higher vibration, and the joy of being fully present to the life you deserve. This workshop is on a love offering basis. Namaste.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday Night Satsang, the principle and the practice of unity. I invite you now to just enter into this space with us. You may already be seated where you want to be. You may already be in this room. But now let us enter into a deeper space. It starts with a movement and an awareness to drop down inside of us, to breathe and to let go, to allow ourselves now to feel this living moment as a gentle pulse of life, a gentle movement of spirit, a gentle whisper. Gentle nudge in the right direction. We open ourselves, what is always with us: wisdom, peace, life, joy, and allow ourselves now to be in this space this evening as an empty vessel to receive, to be refreshed, to be changed from the inside out. We breathe and we lean forward in anticipation of all that is possible. And so it is. Amen.
Let us continue to shift from any problems or concerns or worries of the day into an awareness of truth. All good, all good. Let us chant this together and change the level of vibration of your being.
In my heart, in my soul, let me know all is good, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is done, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is done, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is done, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is good, holy, holy.
This next chant is a new chant for us, but an ancient chant in Buddhism. And this chant has many healing properties, and one of them is to clear the mind, to be free of ego, and to release anything that may be holding you back. And so recognize that there is power in these words and in your sharing of them vocally to open up the channel let us shift into our meditative practice by closing your outer eyes if you have not yet done so. Checking in with your seated posture. That you have a relaxed and open body, strong spine. Taking in a few deep breaths. Allow the breath to serve you in letting go of any places of tension in the body, anywhere you may be holding. Breathing into those spaces and letting go. As we enter into a practice of embracing life with a smile, radical acceptance practice from Tarbrock. We practice in an awareness of the compassionate Buddha that has a slight smile we often see in statues or pictures as he embraces the 10,000 joys and sorrow. So we meditate with a spirit of a smile as we awaken our natural capacity for unconditional friendliness. And so notice sounds around you, be aware of the air touching your skin, experience of sitting in the chair or wherever you're sitting. And allow the curved image of a smile to appear in your mind's eye. Notice how, as you hold this idea of a smile, how gentleness, openness, kindness, and ease arise. Sense this curved and relaxed smile filling your mind and extending outward into space. Now imagine a smile at the corner of both of your eyes. And feel the sensations that arise there. Allow your forehead to be smooth. Skin around your eyes to be relaxed and soft. You might imagine your eyes are floating as if they're in a pool of warm water. Continue to soften and let go through the whole area around the eyes. Can you sense a relaxed brightness there? And now bring a small but real smile to your lips, the half smile of the Buddha. Allow this feeling to relax the muscles of your face. Let your jaw be released, relaxed, loose. Let the tip of your tongue lightly touch the roof of your mouth. Feel now how the eyes are smiling and the mouth is smiling. Bring an image of a smile to your throat. And notice what happens. There may be a release, an opening. If there is any tightness, allow it to be held in the sense of a smile. Feel again the corners of your eyes smiling, your mouth smiling, your throat smiling. Let the smile drift down into your chest. Imagine the shape and the feeling of a smile spreading throughout the area of your heart. Whatever feelings you may notice in your heart space, allow them to float in the openness and kindness of a smile. As you continue to relax, sense the smile in your heart, sending forth ripples of ease throughout your entire body, through your shoulders, along your arms and into your torso and your legs. Can you feel the radiance, the openness of a smile in your navel, your hips, base of your spine? Just allow yourself to rest in the spaciousness and the kind awareness that is engendered by a smile. When thoughts or emotions or sensations arise, can you notice how they're held with unconditional friendliness? Feel that self-love in your entire body. Knowing that every time that you take the one seat for your sitting practice, that you have the opportunity to do so within that field of unconditional friendliness for whatever arises. Your intention, your approach to your practice is your choice. And so you can choose to practice with a loving and compassionate and kind regard for yourself and all you experience. And as you bring that to your seated practice, it will inevitably continue to support you in all aspects of your life. Feeling into the body once more as we begin to bring our attention mindfully to this space. Slowly taking in light through the eyes with a soft focus. Noticing what is around you. As we complete our sitting practice tonight. And so it is.
As we gently return to this time and place, I invite you just to move and just re-inhabit your body. And then you may just feel the expansiveness of your heart for that time away, that time apart. But focusing on that opening and that generosity of the heart. Our spiritual practice also involves allowing ourselves to share from that place and bless our gifts with that energy and that vibration of love and gratitude that flows through us. And so this is our time to do that. And so if you're here in the sanctuary, you may give something in person and may choose to do that, and we'll be collecting it in person. You may also choose to use text to give, either here or if you're online, or if you simply go to our website and donate that way. It isn't really important the method you choose, but what we do together blesses it and invigorates it with powerful energy of life, of love and gratitude. And it helps it move further and out in a powerful way, such that the gift you give energizes our ministry. And so as you now, with your heart open and soft, breathe into it, and holding your gift in your heart or in your hand, let us now bless it by calling it by its name. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. And so it is. Amen.
Our practice is all about receiving love, the experience of love. And so I share this song with you. If you want to know real feeling, take the time for healing, a moment in the morning for prayer. Begin anew at sunrise, wipe the dust from your eyes, get rid of your disguises again. Live for your father, a little for your mother, a little for your sister, a little for your brother, a little love for your soul will make you whole. If you're looking for protection, learn to read directions written in the depths of your soul. Remember in the noonday, sit in peace, meditate. Spirit takes you farther than you know. A little for your father, a little for your mother, a little for your sister, a little for your brother, a little love for your soul will make you whole. Da 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 If you want to walk in power, dedicate an hour for the shower of love. Do it in the evening, you may be receiving the peace that you've been leaving rid of your disguises again. Be rid of your disguises again. Be rid of your disguises again. Thank you, David. Thank you, India Ari, for writing that beautiful tune to remind us of the beauty of our practice. So good to have you all here this evening. I want to begin by sharing with you a Rumi poem, one of my favorites. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. The thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in and be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. A guide from beyond. So how do you meet what rises within you? Do you meet it as a welcome visitor? Or are you more like the innkeeper in Bethlehem who has no room for you here? Sometimes our inner life can be like a sacred oasis of peace, and sometimes it can be a little shop of horrors. I share that with you. Have you ever seen the show or the film A Little Shop of Horrors? Anyone ever seen it or familiar with the story? Okay, good. Some of you definitely. It's interesting, the stories that are in our collective consciousness that get retold again and again. And what is it in that story of why we keep hearing this story or want to hear it, or what are we gaining from experiencing it? And so I wanted to bring it in today because I look at my life as seeing it as a seamless part of my practice. And Little Shop of Horrors has been a big part of my life lately because my husband just directed the show at a theater where he works. And my daughter, who's 5, it was the first musical that she saw, and she loves it, and she's singing it all the time. So it's very much a part of my consciousness right now, and it has me thinking about the story. So I want to share a bit of some of my metaphysical understanding of what it would apply to what we're looking at today in our study and our awareness of unconditional friendliness. So this story is a moralistic type tale, and it's of this young man whose name is Seymour. Seymour works at a shop in Skid Row in downtown New York. He is poor, he is an orphan, and he is the epitome of the trance of unworthiness experience that Reverend Karen spoke about as we began this series on radical acceptance. He just saw himself as lower than low, but he had a dream. He had a dream of getting out and living this dream life. So there was this craving in him, this desire, and that has never been met in his life. And his co-worker, a beautiful woman named Audrey, she had dreams of getting out too. So they're both looking to be away from this life in some resistance to this experience. And the shop is just about to go out of business. They're just not getting business. People aren't coming in, and their flowers are really not that great anyway. And then Seymour discovers this exotic plant that nobody's ever seen before that shows up at this store where he gets his plant cuttings, and he brings it to the shop, and it's getting a lot of attention. And they put it in the window, and the business begins to thrive. You say, oh, what an unusual plant. They come in, they buy roses, they buy other things, and all of a sudden the shop is booming, and everything turns around. And So everything becomes about this plant. They need the plant in order for the shop to thrive and survive. They've got to keep this plant going. And all of a sudden, the plant stops growing. It just gets to a certain size, it won't grow, and it starts dying and wilting. And so Seymour has been getting all this praise and attention that he's never gotten his whole life. They call him a genius, and they're interviewing him and everything for this amazing plant, and the plant's not growing. And so he doesn't know what to do, and he is doing things around the shop, and he pricks his finger, and it cuts open, and the plant opens up its trap. It's like a Venus flytrap. I actually brought a little one. I brought a little plant. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but I brought a little plant. So he names the plant Audrey too, because he's in love with Audrey. So he names the plant Audrey too, and the plant opens up its trap when it sees the blood, and he discovers that if he feeds the plant the blood, then the plant will grow. And so he goes through every finger feeding this plant, trying to get the plant to grow. And the plant gets bigger and bigger, and finally gets to such a size that the plant starts talking, and the plant speaks to him, and the plant says, "Feed me." Feed me. The plant wants more food, and the plant not only wants more blood, which Seymour has given every finger, he is no more, but the plant is saying that he wants a person, wants to eat someone. And so this is really a horrors, right? The horrors, but it's a musical comedy, so it's all fun. And so, and Seymour's famous now, so he gets up the guts to find a body for the plant to eat. And the plant, in turn, says, if you find me this body, I promise you fortune, I promise you fame, I promise you that you're going to get the girl, this girl Audrey that he's in love with. You're going to get everything you ever dreamed of and more if you start killing people and feeding them to me. And his desire in himself to sustain this kind of false life that he's living now, this acclaim, they're calling him to be on shows, that he is willing to do anything to try to sustain this, because he feels like then he'll get free and it'll give him the life that he wanted. And he feels that he's stuck with this secret, like he's got to perpetuate it. He can't get out of it, so he's got to keep it going, and it kind of builds up and gets on. And it finds out in the end, after a couple of people have been consumed by the plant, and the plant gets bigger and bigger and is more voracious, that Audrey, who he's loved all this time, who he thought would love him because of this fame and the money that was coming in, all that she said she loved him anyway, regardless of all that. She's always cared for him. And so he didn't need that. So as I think about this story, this little shop of horrors, I'm wondering, what is the ravenous and blood-sucking plant in you? What might be your Audrey too? For some of us, it's something called coronavirus anxiety. It's a thing now. They've given it a term, that it can really get our heart racing, get us into fear, depression. Many people, just increasing numbers of fear and anxiety in this time. Dysfunctional family issues may be your ravenous plant, insecurities, financial strain, a constant desire for more, a rejection of your life. This life never quite satisfies. There's something that is more satisfying out there. So all of this is like this plant that says, feed me. So the more we give attention and energy into those thoughts that have us, that keep us stuck, right? We keep perpetuating, and it seems to grow in our consciousness, where it can feel like we're giving our lifeblood to this kind of way of thinking. You follow me? Okay. So when we live in resistance to our lives, to what is, not only does the plant, we'll call it the plant, that part of us take over, but it can make decisions based on the demands of this unexpected visitor. The plant was an unexpected visitor in the story. So this unexpected visitor that comes along and it seems to consume us. So what can we do when we get caught up in fear, caught up in anxiety, jealousy, anger? When we practice radical acceptance, which is the work that we're doing here in this series with Tara Brach's book, we take a pause. So we take enough of a pause to meet whatever it is that's happening inside of us with unconditional friendliness. So I think of Seymour and his experience with the plant, and he was just a victim and just did anything the plant wanted because he was in fear until things changed. There are different endings in the show and the movie, so I won't spoil it for you. I'll let you find out how it ends. One's happy, one's not. So I've seen them all now. Now we're a little shop connoisseurs. But instead of making this experience the enemy, because the plant went from friend to enemy, it quickly went into this was ruining everybody's life and taking over the world in the story. So it can take over our world, this plant. We pay attention in a way that enables us to recognize and get in touch with the experience with care. Whatever this is in us, the dragon or whatever kind of overwhelming experience, just touching into it with some care, and it changes the nature of your experience. With the spirit of radical acceptance is the awareness that nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Whatever is happening is real life. It's what the experience is. I thought it was interesting in the story how the door to the shop was always open for Seymour to just leave. He didn't have to stay with the plant and keep feeding it. His freedom was always available to him. The dream he had, he could have gone out and gotten that dream without being in that stuck place, but he stayed there. It was the delusion of stuckness. In Buddhism, this delusion is called Mara. Mara. So Reverend Karen shared a story last week of Siddhartha sitting under the Bodhi tree and becoming enlightened and becoming the Buddha. So there's more to that story. After he became enlightened, became the Buddha, so he was visited by this unexpected visitor, Mara, many times as he sat under the Bodhi tree and just given every kind of fear and pain and sorrow and worry that came, and he learned. Now, if you think about Siddhartha, he was a radical experimenter. To be out there and to sit and to notice what was arising with him and to learn how to be in a space of awareness and unconditional friendliness in that experience of all this being shown to him that was his worst fears, most likely. So Mara is called a dream-like ignorance. It's a dream-like ignorance that we can live in, and it obscures our enlightened nature. So we know the truth of us is our Buddha nature, our Christ nature. But when our mind is stuck in delusion, whatever that is, whatever the story is, whatever the plant is for you, stuck in that, it's just obscuring that enlightened nature that's always present. We're just not seeing it. And we get entangled in fear and in craving. So Mara fled on the morning of Buddha's enlightenment. The sacred texts of Buddhism tell us that Mara was only temporarily discharged, that even after the Buddha became deeply revered all throughout India, Mara returned again and again to visit Buddha. And so instead of ignoring Mara and driving Mara away, the Buddha would just calmly acknowledge his presence and say, I see you, Mara. I see you. And it wasn't like, see you, It was like, I see you, Mara. And he would invite Mara in for tea. So this is just a fascinating understanding that the Buddha took Mara in as an honored guest, prepared tea in earthen tea vessels, and placed them on the low table that was there, laid out a cushion for Mara, invited Mara to sit, and only then would the Buddha sit and just listen. As Mara went on and on with different fears and worries and anxieties and things, and Buddha would listen with unconditional friendliness and remain free and undisturbed. Can you imagine remaining free and undisturbed in the midst of someone in your family gets the coronavirus? Could you be free and undisturbed? Or could you be free and undisturbed finding out that you need to put your pet to sleep? Or any number of diagnoses, any number of situations that can arise that certainly would disturb us. And it's this, not that we wouldn't feel those emotions, so that's what the practice is, the feeling of the experience, allowing the experience, knowing that everything is welcome and it's all part of the reality of our experience, but it's the being with it in a way that's compassionate. One of the ways that a teacher, I took a retreat a couple weeks ago, and she explained it like this, that here is the plant, Mara, the problem or the issue, the thing that's got us stuck. And so what we want to do is to be with it like this, rather than what we can tend to do, which is to be with it like this, to get enmeshed in it, right? We can hold it and see it and be with it, stay with it, without becoming stuck in the story and feeding into it like the plant. So by accepting these experiences with the warmth of compassion, we offer Mara tea instead of driving him away. I see you, Mara, acknowledging the fear, the craving that is within each human heart. No one is exempt from that experience. So it's our pushing away, our ignoring of whatever darkness arises that is deeply embedded in our human inclination. We're just inclined to want to push away this darkness and not be with it. So it's a new orientation to our experience, so we can sit with it the way that we would sit with a friend and have tea and just listen compassionately to what is troubling them with understanding. We can do that same thing for ourselves. Pema Chodron said, we are learning to make friends with ourselves, our life, at the most profound level possible. Making friends with all of ourselves, even the parts of ourselves that we might not like when they show up, even making friends with that part of ourselves. When we befriend ourselves rather than resisting our lives, we open our hearts and we willingly invite Mara to tea. Our judgments of our lives can dig us deeper into this trance of unworthiness. When we look at our lives, this isn't right, that could be better, I should be living here, doing this, being with these people. And one way to cut through all that is to engage in this practice called inquiry. It cuts through the trance, inquiry, and that's simply scanning the body, we did in meditation, noticing feelings, especially noticing the feelings that are present in the throat, the chest, and the abdomen. Throat, the chest, and the abdomen, really sensing those areas. For me, I notice my arms and my legs tend to be pretty neutral and energetically, and I tend to hold things in those areas. So that's a good place to engage with the body and ask, what is happening now? What is arising? What needs my attention? So what is the primary energy or feeling that's getting my attention right now? What's asking for acceptance? And the intention is not to analyze, because if you're like me, you love analyzing, I want to take it back, or what childhood experience did I have that might have led to this feeling that I have with this person in this moment. So in this practice, it's not an intention like in therapy, psychology, to analyze, but to just awaken to exactly what is here in the present moment. What is arising? A racing of the heart? Is it a sense of fear? Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Noticing what's there. And so an example that I experienced on retreat a couple of weeks ago, which kind of surprised me. I'm sitting there in mindfulness, noticing my breath, noticing sensations in the body. I had this thought of that I want to have lunch. So there was craving. I want to eat, noticing, craving, eating, wanting to eat. And then I had this thought of that I need to be careful because I could cut my finger when I'm making my salad. Now, some of you know, a few months ago, I accidentally stabbed myself in the wrist when I was cutting some food, very accidental. Gave myself a hard time and then forgave myself about it. But so there was this kind of residual fear of, okay, here comes a knife, you're about to use a knife soon, and what if you cut your finger? What if you cut your finger off? And this is coming up, and I'm thinking I'm in this peaceful, I'm on retreat, right? And this fear comes up, and so just naming it, fear, recognizing the story, not in an attempt to make it go away or to kind of pounce on it, go away, or gotcha, just a soft and gentle way of, I see you, Mara. I see you, Mara. And so this is an attitude of just radical acceptance that makes it safe for those parts of ourselves that are vulnerable and frightened to be seen, to become welcome visitors. And that's a healing process as we allow them to be known rather than pushing them into the shadow. And now there are times when it's not wise to say yes to all that is arising. If something is arising in you that's very traumatic and is difficult to be with, no one is expecting you to just stay with that heavy pain until it consumes you. That we want to be conscious that we're not saying to say yes to acting out any harmful impulses. This isn't about your actions, this is about your practice and what arises. So we're allowing thoughts to arise and pass away. And if something is too painful, what we can do as we begin to work with it showing up is we can be with it for a bit. We can move to another area of our body where there are pleasant sensations or neutral sensations and be with that for a while. And then touch into that discomfort and pain for a bit. And then go back to that neutral or pleasant feeling. And you can just ease into it until you become more able to be with it for a longer period of time. Now, Mara this experience of Mara, like the plant, it can cast a shadow over the goodness in our lives. Seymour didn't even realize that Audrey might already love him without all that stuff. Mara does this. It casts a shadow over your life where you no longer see the good and you're only looking at the problems, the struggles, the issues. And we can always be shooting for perfection, and never quite feel like we're arriving in the satisfaction of the good that is present. So we can learn to practice saying yes to the whole of our messy, cluttered, imperfect life experience. Yes to how we're parenting, however that might be. Yes to our friendships, our bodies, our physical appearance. We could spend our whole life trying to make the body some perfect ideal of a body, right? Saying yes to the body that we have, our personality, our work, our spiritual path. Tarbrock says there is something wonderfully bold and liberating about saying yes to our entire imperfect and messy life. And so here we are experiencing unconditional friendliness, and just invite you to use this practice to embrace all of your life with a smile and with love. Namaste.
Jeanmarie, how do you spell Mara?
M-A-R-A.
M-A-R-A.
A.
M-A-R-A.
Like like Tara.
Yes, like Tara.
The first name of the author of the book we're using.
Yes.
Lovely message. I was really just aware of how much I have gained from my sort of in and out study of Buddhism. I've not really dedicated a lot of time in my life, or pointedly, but over time, different authors or teachers would come along and I would delve in a little bit deeper. Don't know what that is. And the thing that has served me so well, one of the things that has served me so well, you alluded to it, is that sense of compassion for, the ugly, the unwelcome, the thing that you would, like you said, you want to push away, you want to shut it up, you want to, I don't believe that anymore, I don't think that anymore, that's not true. I mean, it's like whatever defense or whatever resistance really is what it is that we have, to instead be willing not to accept it or take it in, but rather see it. And that as long as you do exactly the way your hands were over it, like this, see it, you are not it.
Yes.
And while you see it, you also retain context, right? Because when something is like all in it, like the mata that's all everywhere, that's all you see. And then you see it everywhere. And then even when you fix a problem, oh boy, there's another one over there, and then here's the next bigger rock that needs to be fixed, and the next bigger problem. All you see is a sea of problems, and you can never be in joy. And when you see what it is, you see it at the same time you see everything else, And so I just think, just using your words, I see you, Mara, I see you. Feed me, Seymour. It's like, no, not going to feed you, but I'm going to see you. Maybe that's it,
Yes, well said.
That's great. I like that. Ultimately, the punchline is really simple. I see you. I was inspired by what you were saying about a quote I remembered. Somebody had attributed to Einstein, and so I cheated and looked it up and jogged my memory. He granted an interview with the young reporter, and the young reporter asked, "I have one question for you, Dr. Einstein. And this is the key question we are asking every scientist we can find, and that is, what is the most important question that a scientist can ask?" And Einstein pondered a while, and ultimately he came into this question. And it is, the most important question that any person can ask is whether or not the universe is a friendly place. I would attribute Einstein as being one of, if not the greatest mind in the history of science. And he says that we have to decide whether or not the universe is a friendly place. And I didn't quite get that, and neither did the young reporter. He says, "Well, what do you mean? How is that the most important question?" And his answer is this: the answer we find determines what we do with our lives. If the universe is a friendly place, we will spend our time building bridges. Otherwise, people use all their time to build walls, and we decide.
Yes.
Ultimately, it is choice, right?
Yes.
Is the universe friendly? It's a choice.
Yes. Is my consciousness friendly? Right? Because if we can build bridges with those parts of ourselves, right, we can learn to build bridges with each other.
We've been here before. In this forum of talking, this isn't the first time we've bumped against that recognition that even our consciousness is a co-inhabitant of our experience. I'm projecting a little bit to say that, but is our consciousness friendly? And it's fine to know that, well, it should be, certainly, right? I'll just choose it. But if that's not what you're experiencing, then I really think your lesson tonight provides a meaningful and viable lifeline, and it is that I see you, Mara. You know, it's I don't judge you, but I see you, and I am not you. And then you can maybe have some power to decide, friendly, not friendly. Build bridges, build walls.
It was very helpful for me to learn that the Buddha experienced Mara visiting after he had become enlightened, that there is no end point where that is not, well, certainly not from this master teacher, enlightened person that we're learning from, where we just no longer have fear, anxiety, depression, all those things that visit us. That is just the way that he was able to be with it is what's different, and what he really modeled and taught us, that like, okay, I can really learn from that in my own life.
I'm loving this. You know, who isn't confronted, you know, with either some old pattern or habitual thinking or some fear or recurring or something new or something frightening or something we're out of control with. All of the things, you know, that life will bring us and leave on our doorstep, you know, like our cat, you know, will just bring the nastiest things and set them right there for us, right? And yet, you know, the answer is always the same. It's always the opportunity just to accept it, to accept that it exists, that it's here, that it's possible, and not succumb to it, and not let it overtake, and not let it have the power. We retain our power in the situation, that we, you know, that we not surrender to it, that we just simply, as you say, you know, invite it to tea. You know, you can invite as long as it wants to stay, because while that is something that you're saying, well, I don't want that to stay. I don't want it to make it feel like it can stay here. I really want it to go. But that is the brink of non-resistance, right? It's instead of pushing it out the door, it's actually allowing it to decide to be here as long as it will be here, and that tension is there the whole time, but you're not surrendered to it, and you're still seeing it, and you are retaining your power in the situation, and you're not resisting. And non-resistance, I think, is the key to allowing it to transform, because what'll happen is the longer you entertain it, the more it begins to change.
What I also really love about what you just said is that cooperation isn't required on the part of Mara. You know, and there's some great metaphor about, you know, is the universe friendly? Is our consciousness friendly? Is our social situation friendly? Is our civil discourse friendly? I see you, Mara. You know, and cooperation and collaboration isn't essential in order for me to still retain my power and to interpret this too is a demonstration of a friendly universe. If God wanted it to be any other way, it would be that way. And how am I going to be in the presence of that and continue to have agency, continue to be in my centered self, without blocking that away, as you say, push it out the door, but just let it be. Accept that it is, not accept the condition that it represents. That it exists, and it can continue to exist, and I can continue to grow in my own personal path that includes that in the world. That too is a part of my experience.
Yes.
Right, or asking it, you know, like you would a guest. What is it you want? Why are you here? And it isn't what I thought. It's never what I thought when it came, because it brings up all of the resistance and all of my reasons for escaping and not wanting to face that part of myself or deal with that, or that's old. That's not, you know, that's in my past, and now here this is, and really it's so fascinating that to really be listening, to really be undefended. We're free then to understand what its real purpose is, and suddenly a beautiful love comes up in a very twisted manner. Do you know what I mean? It's no, I don't want that. But I understand you're just trying to love me. You're trying to show me something. You're trying to protect me from something. You're trying to make sure that I don't, go off and do that. I'm not going to do that. Thank you so much for that, And it changes. It will transform before your eyes, and you will integrate even more power in your life. That's the beauty. And Buddhism is just the best psychological, empowerment pathway one could have, really, I think, because it just gives you so much ability just to see our harmony with the universe. And that's where every path leads us, right?
Yes.
So this is our time to enter into prayer together. And what we do is we really, the purpose of all prayer is peace. The purpose of all prayer is to return to peace, whether it's a peaceful state for us, whether it's a peaceful relationship, whether it's peace for a friend or family member, peace in the world, however it is that whatever it is that we think is missing, peace is always what we seek. And so I just invite you now to move into a deeper state of peace and equanimity, serenity. Just allow yourself now to breathe and to relax again into knowing that this is a friendly universe. It is safe and loving. And we are its focus. We are in the center of the universe, each of us. And from this position, we see the things that we wish to release or to help elevate to a higher expression. And so whatever it is for someone we love, something in our own lives, something we like to see changed, let us in the space among us and between us, and those of you with us now in another space, physical space, but yet you are in this heart space with us now as you participate and watch, be a part of this. Breathe with us. Among us now is a space of healing, of bringing every good thing. And so very quietly now, gently speak the name, the person or the condition you wish to see elevated, strengthened, made more. So whatever you've named tonight, whatever is on your heart, wherever you are, we know that prayer is already answered. Peace is already here. And whatever it will take in the unfolding hours and days to come to be revealed, you will see it, you will know it, and it will bless the world. And so from this place, we feel our deep gratitude now and say thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. We do want to remind you that this evening here in the sanctuary, just like we have on Sundays before and after service, we have a Unity Prayer Partner here who will be over in this area after the conclusion of our service to pray with you.
And so now we join together in our metta practice. And this is an awareness that as we continue our practice, that our liberation also serves to liberate others. Hopefully we can bring it up on the screen so we can all say it together. Do we have the metta practice prayer? Oh, okay. Well, I'll say the words then and then we'll just know it together. By the power of this practice, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they know the sacred joy that arises in the space beyond suffering. May they rest in equanimity that knows no grasping or hatred. May they experience the equality of all beings. May my practice be of benefit to all.